Boo! Hello, and welcome to this month's spooky TokyoTreat unboxing and character design session. Today we are going to be designing witches and their familiars from these snacks, and I am so excited, so let's just get into it. If you don't know what TokyoTreat is, it's a monthly subscription box for Japanese snacks. Follow the link in the description if you want to help this channel out and get your own treats. Thank you to TokyoTreat for sending me this. Let's get into it. So I thought this time around we could pick up two items at random. One could be the witch design and the second one could be the familiar design. So our first snack is going to be Pretty Cure popcorn. I don't know why I'm constantly surprised by how cute these snacks are, but this popcorn has hearts with it. This tastes like popcorn with Captain Crunch with it, so I'm very pleased. Our next snack is Spicy Pepper Pea Corn Puff Rings. These are an interesting sort of Cheeto snack, not bad. So obviously this witch design had to be pretty dang cute because that popcorn was pretty dang cute. It was striped on the package, it had hearts, it was pink, it was yellow, it was a little bit fruity tasting. So I took a lot of inspiration, especially from the packaging because it had stripes. So I especially took a lot of inspiration from the hearts, and I thought it would be cute to make this a sort of love witch. Maybe she made love potions for the locals, spells to help people out with their love life maybe. So this witch in design especially is not the traditional witch. She's not wearing a black dress. She's quite colorful. She's actually not even wearing a dress at all. She's wearing puffy pants, which I thought were really cute. Her pants might make her look a little clownish, but I gave her a witch hat and she's cooking up some potions, so she's a witch, just not in the traditional sense. I gave her puffy sleeves and her buns are popcorn shaped because I just thought it would be the perfect popcorn representation for this snack. When it came down to her familiar, and honestly all of the familiars in these witches, I was a little stumped. So I took the spicy pepper part and took that and created this sort of octopus character that spat fire instead of ink. So it helps her cook the potions by creating the fire under the bottles. The snacks were tube-shaped and orange, which sort of reminded me of a cartoon octopus. So that's where I got that idea. They are certainly a weird duo, but I think they make a cute couple. Our next duo is going to be based off of this Anpanman Fluffy Corn Puffs. Another long boy. These slightly sweet corn puff snacks have a very familiar taste, but I'm not sure what it is. And these Hokkaido matcha milk candies. If you are a fan of green tea, these are definitely the hard candies for you. So at first when I was brainstorming this witch, I thought it could be a witch that had a lot of bling. Maybe she wore a lot of jewelry and she had big hoop earrings, lots of bracelets, anklets, jewelry on her hat, around her waist. She could be very thin so that she was just covered in little jewelry pieces and stripes on her socks. But then when I started penciling her, I thought it would be cute to make her a skeleton witch for some reason. I think the little yellow rings just reminded me of those skeleton Cheetos that you can buy around Halloween time. Also, how often do you see a skeleton witch? I thought that was a new sort of cute thing. So I did it. So she turned into a skeleton, but that's okay because these little ring puff things still showed up a little bit. So she is a very traditional witch in the sense that she wears a black dress and has a black hat. She's got the yellow rings on her hat and she is using a spell that of course creates the yellow rings to create more familiars for herself. Now I know I'm probably going to be insulting every witch out there by what I made into familiars with these witches. But basically, she turns little spills and messes into her little helpers. So a glass of green tea has spilled and she is turning it into something that is alive and can help her. Basically, I thought it would be really cute to have these sort of black figure things with every witch that were their sort of familiar. AKA Inktober has taken over my life and I just want to create a bunch of black things. That said, our second witch is complete. Okay, our next pair of characters is going to be Stretchy Grape Gummies. Yep, that's a grape gummy. And this brown sugar traditional wheat puff. Aw, that's cute. This traditional snack has both an interesting texture and flavor. So this stringy purple snack didn't give too much inspiration, but I thought I had a pretty good idea, and this ended up being my favorite witch. So the first thing I came up with was a witch that had a sort of spell accident, and she was turning herself into this weird stringy purple stuff. But then I thought it was a good idea, if I was going to have an accident, to have a baby witch just learning how to use its powers and accidentally turning everything into this stringy purple pinky stuff. So there's a baby sitting there in a witch's hat, and everything, the carpet, its nose, its fingers, is turning into this stringy purple stuff. I thought it was a really cute concept, and it really reminds me of Harry Potter, how they explain how the kids can do magical stuff and not realize it. It's because they don't have control over their powers, and why the heck not? I'm sure this happens to more witches that aren't just in the Harry Potter world. So this is my absolute favorite out of all of these witches. This cute little baby sitting there with a giant hat, and these weird pink purple things are just sprouting out of the carpet from its toe. Oh, and then the familiar it's a very simple familiar. Because the snack was just this big fat brown block, it sort of reminded me of a bear or something. So the baby's familiar is just this big bear thing. And who knows, maybe in my world of witches, they get assigned their familiar, and because it's a baby, it's not very aware of its world around it, so it doesn't really know that it has a familiar yet, and later on, they're gonna become best friends, and they're gonna play, and the baby's gonna turn it into this weird purple pink snake thing on accident. It's gonna be a good time. And that witch is complete. Our next duo is everyone's favorite shrimp mayonnaise umaibo. Oh boy. It's not as bad as it sounds, shrimp mayonnaise, but I don't think I could eat this for enjoyment. And Kalbi Kishu plum chips. What a combination. I just love the little red speckles on this chip, and I actually really like sour plum flavor. So obviously the shape and texture of the chip was going to be my main inspiration for this witch. So I wanted to either give her hair that was textured like the chip or a hat. So I ended up going with a hat, but the rest of this witch was very hard to get inspiration from, but I knew a pickled plum was definitely going to be in there. So later I was like, oh, those are very wrinkly. So let's go with an old witch. So that's what I ended up going with. This is a very strange, old, saggy, but maybe still sexy witch. She has a very strange shaped witch hat. Who knows what that does for her? Maybe it's special in some way. It could be a hand-me-down. For the familiar, because it's just this tubey long thing, I thought it would be really fun to turn it into I guess some sort of whale shark or just something with a long mouth, and I thought it would be fun if she was riding it because she's an old lady. She needs a ride, and she is using plums to, I guess, sort of carrot on a stick like a donkey sort of situation. So she's using these plums to help her familiar be encouraged to move, I suppose. I don't know why, but I guess that's their relationship. To keep everything red themed, I gave her a red dress and red shoes, so she's looking a little sexy. Maybe she's going on a date. I don't know. But even though this is a sort of weird witch, I kind of like her. She's cute and sexy. Look at those saggy boobs. Next up, we have this mango Pokemon soda. Not bad, definitely a mango drink. And it will be paired with Kineko crackers. I love rice crackers, and the soybean powder adds a really interesting texture to these snacks. So speaking of interesting, this was a really weird one to get inspiration from, but the main thing I took from this snack was it was very powdery. So I thought, have an old man witch, and I know he's more of a wizard, I suppose, so please excuse that he's a wizard, not a witch. So his thing is creating compounds? Is that what I'm thinking of? Basically, he works with chemicals, like powdered chemicals, and then he uses his familiar, which is just water or liquid, and he changes his familiar to be whatever liquid he needs to create the combination with whatever powder he needs, with whatever liquid he needs, and he makes things, I guess. Potions? Things? Explosions? I don't know. Basically, he's a crazy, kooky old man wizard, and he's naked, all the time because he gets wet because his familiar is wet, and his familiar is very disturbed because this old man, you know, he takes a shower with his familiar, I guess, also, so the familiar is just scarred for life. The old man also uses his compoundy, powdery stuff to clothe himself. Look, he's a crazy old man. So he has his pointed wizard hat, and he's using the powder to create a cloak bath towel thing because he's wet. Look, this was a very interesting one. I just had liquid and powder to work with. But you know what? I created this crazy old man, and I like him. And I hope you do too. Our next characters will be based off of this marshmallow twist. Oh my goodness, look at that character. Not much to say about this one. It's a marshmallow and it's cute. And Okinawa Pineapple Haichu. You can't go wrong with Haichu, and pineapple is pretty good. So I took the pineapple off of that Haichu and I ran with it and created this very tropical and cute witch. As far as the familiar goes, I thought it would be cute to have some sort of twisty little monster thing, and then I kind of fell flat after I created the witch because I was so focused on her. The familiar is just, I don't know. So how often do you see a tropical witch? Probably not very often. I think this is a new one for me. So I created this witch based off of a pineapple. Her hat sort of looks like a sun hat instead of a witch's hat, but I did my best to try to shape it like a pineapple, but also give it that pointed witch hat sort of feel. Not sure it was successful, but there it is. Her dress is very poofy to represent also a pineapple, and I just wanted to make her bright and tan and flying around somewhere tropical, like an island, obviously, because pineapples are like... This is a very tropical witch. I don't know what she does. Maybe she does island things. I have absolutely no idea. Maybe she controls the weather. She makes it sunny, she makes it cloudy. Like I said, her familiar is a broomstick with the end of it being swirly like the marshmallow. I told you. It was very cop-outy, and I do apologize. Maybe she goes on top of a cloud, swirls it up, and gets it on the end of her stick like cotton candy, and then moves the cloud around? I have no idea. Next witch, please. And last but not least, we have these, Kinoko no Yama chocolate banana snacks. If you like that fake banana flavor, this is definitely a good snack for you. And our strawberry soft serve ice cream DIY. A little sweet, a little sour, and a little cute. Obviously, I was going to have to create a mushroom witch. It was just so obvious, and it's such a fun and cute thing to do. Give it a mushroom hat, a mushroom dress, and just have fun with it. As far as the familiar goes, I really wasn't sure. Some sort of ice cream drippy creature. So what I ended up going with was this mushroom witch who dances on a rock, and I'm not sure yet what the black goopy stuff is. It could be oil. Maybe this witch goes into the forest, maybe she lives in the forest, and she just spends all of her time cleaning up and making sure that nature is taken care of. As usual, her familiar is very, very, very loosely based off of the snack because it was an ice cream cone snack. I just drew a rock that was a triangle shape and put a black goop on the end of it that could represent the ice cream scoop. I don't know what is going on with this witch design or the familiar or what's happening, but all I know is that it's a very dang cute witch. It's very flowy, it's very magical, and I do like it. I know that the mushrooms were brown and yellow, but I did have to put that red classic mushroom look in there because I just knew it would make it more bright and colorful and more fun than just a bunch of brown. So I hope you will forgive me for that. As far as her hair goes, I did make it from that oily stuff. So I'm not really sure what's going on with this witch. Maybe she controls this goopy stuff and picks up the harmful bits, the pollution, the trash and stuff from the forest. I don't know what's going on, but she's cute and I like it. And that's that. I hope you also enjoyed these snacky, witchy designs. If you want your own TokyoTreat box, follow the link in the description. Thanks again to TokyoTreat for sending me this box, and I hope you guys have a spooky Halloween. I'll see you in the next video. And now a huge thank you to my wonderful patrons for all of their support. You guys are the best. If you want to be in the credits at the end of my videos, see secret sketches, coloring pages, early access, and more, check out my Patreon by clicking a link in the description. Thank you guys all so much for the support. Bye!